Okay, so probably most of you know this car by this point. It's called the Polestar 2, but this is not the normal Polestar 2 from 2020. So this thing right here is the new Polestar 2024 performance version. Well, let's change things up a bit and let's just see if this car has any good performance or not. It is a performance version after all. So let's start there. Time to do some performance testing. Starting with the yellow seatbelts, matching the yellow theme of the Polestar, and let's just start by launching this thing. Okay, how do we do this? Sport mode, or like sport setting, the traction and the G meter. There's like a launch system in here. Okay. The car's hunkers down and .2, 0 to 100 it says here in the display. Pretty cool. That's actually exactly what Polestar says it does. And I actually managed to get this down to 4 seconds earlier when I tried it the first time, so pretty impressive. It's actually quite hard to spot any differences from the old one, other than some new rims here. And you of course got the performance Brembo brakes up front as in the old car. But the main thing, the only thing that I really can find in this car changed from the old Polestar 2 is the grille. This grille is now called the Smart Zone. Oh, that is what Polestar calls it. And it's to show off their new tech. Right here in the middle in the new Smart Zone, we got the mid-range radar. So you'll get that one. And not much more to say basically. Just some basic induction here and here and here. And yeah, it's of course the performance, so you need a bit of cooling, right? So this specific car is the performance version, but most people on the internet will tell you that the single motor is the one to get. And yeah, I disagree. You want the fun one. You want the one that excites you a bit, and then that's the performance one. So that's the thing, right? That's the question. Do you need the extra performance? Do you need the extra fun? Or is it any fun at all? You are doing illegal speed in this car, like so fast. Obviously, like any other electric car, it is like that, but it feels really controllable here with the elite dampers, or like the suspension that this car has. It's only on the performance model of the Polestar 2, but it really makes the car even more settled down and very easy to control. It's like a mix between comfort but also a bit of a performance. It's good. It is good. This specific car is the performance version, and that makes, of course, most important first numbers, right? 476 brake horsepower, which makes this car, yeah, pretty fast. Pretty fast, yes. The range is 550, so above WLTP. Let's see about that. The price, you may ask, is just below 60,000 euros, and it's obviously more expensive than the Tesla Model 3. Oh my God, I hate when I have to talk about that car. Okay, we won't mention the Model 3 anymore. People talk about that car too much, but it's under 60,000 euros and around 520,000 Danish crowns if you had any interest in that. Because I'm from Denmark and the Danish currency is important for me. But one thing that is more important, that is that there's a huge opening here. Really good size. And you got this cool divider here where you can put up things on these hooks, and you also got a bit of extra storage down below. Pretty cool to see. So that's around the back in the Polestar 2. These seats are it's such a good driving position here in the Polestar. It's really nice actually. I like how the interior is just wrapped around you here with the center console here. I'm having such a cold, so my voice is maybe a bit strange. It's time for a bit of cornering. And you could actually play around with the bag a bit. When you're going out of corner, it will slip a bit. It will not like slip fully, so it will not go sideways, but it will just a small amount. Good fun. Okay, so how is the ride overall in general? It's pretty good when you have a really smooth road. It's really nice. It's quiet in here, and the bumps are absorbed not really well, but it's okay. When you have a smooth road, it's good. But if you go on a bumpy road, and that is also to do with the big rims, it will feel bumpy. And you know when you have a sports car and the hard suspension is actually also good, but because you have a hard suspension in this also, and you also have a lot of weight, it makes it a bit less enjoyable, I would say that. You can really feel it. But Jesus, this car is quick. Oh, you can just zoom out and in of traffic all of the time. Like 476 horsepower is a pretty healthy number for an electric car. Okay, so at this point you may think, what exactly is this facelift all about? It's something to do in here. In the old one, I had a road trip where I went 1,000 kilometers and I could only charge at 150 kilowatts, and it was a bit slow also to ramp up there, and it took around 40-45 minutes every time you have to charge. In the new one here, it's bumped up to 205 kilowatt, and that means you can go from 10 to 80% in 28 minutes. That's a nifty upgrade, I would say. Okay, so do you get any other specific upgrades here in the facelift? Yeah. The battery is upgraded too. You go up to now a 82 kilowatt hour battery. But the smart thing Polestar did here is that they took like the old idea about cylinder on demand and put that into an electric vehicle. So that means when you're driving around and you're just cruising, the car will turn off one of the motors to extend the range even further. I just took a longer road trip in the car, and you can really see how this car also have longer range than the previously non-facelift version had. This car would easily go like 400 kilometers on a full charge, like easily. Like the old car like struggled to do 350. So that's also really positive, I would say. Inside the Polestar 2, it is overall mostly very good in here. Compared to most modern cars, let's say Tesla Model 3. That car is too simplistic and overall very boring inside. This car, they actually tried. They actually tried to make a nice interior, and they quite goodly managed. It's some nice seats, you're sitting very comfortable. The center console here is pretty cool with lights around here. And this nice steering wheel, which has incredible heating, actually heating so much you can burn your hands almost. And then there's the screen. It's of course an iPad slapped in the middle, like any other electric car, but this iPad is actually quite good. It's very responsive to your touch. So if you go into the map setting here, it will be very responsive, and you can put it down in, you can put in an address, and it will actually tell you how much range you will have left when you're arriving at your destination, and that's very good. It's not that all electric cars can do this. One thing more, if you go into the performance, you'll have this launch and you have the steam meter. Very useful. And there's also apps like YouTube where you can go and you'll find your favorite channel, which is this guy, if you were wondering. Something a bit questionable is that you have to connect your iPhone via a cable to hook up to the Apple CarPlay system. And also the climate situation is not displayed at all times, so sometimes you have to like push down here to make it show, and it's not like visible at all times. So sometimes it can be a bit of a 2, 3, 4, 5-step procedure to change something in the climate. So they could work on that too. Something that also could be worked on is the cup holder situation. Okay, look at this. You put your cup holder in, and now you have your cup in the middle of the car. And let's say you want to change something. This thing is in the way, and yeah. And then you maybe ask yourself, why isn't there a second cup holder? Well, there is one. It's under this thing, this armrest. So, and if you put your cup there, you can't use the armrest because it will go into the cup. And if you use this one, you can't use the armrest either because the cup holder or the flask here will be in the way. So, yeah. And why can this armrest mechanism go into the rear passenger's legs? That is something. I tend just to use the door seals out here for storing liquid. It looks pretty nice back here, and it also feels really nice. The materials are pretty good. But the one thing is that you sit really, really upright. You can't lean back that much, so over a longer period of time it will be a bit of a stretch to sit back here. Also back here you have your rear heated seats and 2 USB-C chargers. Very good. Something that I also like here in the cabin is the screen up here. It's very cool looking because it's like rectangular and it's rounded off, and it looks good, and it really nicely integrated with the middle screen here. But there is something about this interior that is a bit strange. Why do they keep using piano black finish in here? It just tends to smush up a bit, and you have like fingerprints all over. Also on the steering wheel you have this piano black finish. And you can also find it here in the knobs over here to adjust the windows and on the climate vents. Strange decision. Nonetheless, overall, a very good looking cabin. You feel like the cabin is tucked around you, and I like that feeling. It's not like too open in here. It's actually feels like a car. Not like the Tesla Model 3, which feels like a vacuum cleaner on wheels. Now this facelift that nobody actually talks about is actually a big step up. Apart from the cup holders and this thing. Why it can go back here? What? How is this a good idea? I'll definitely pick this over the 3. It's just more interesting and has a little character at least. When you buy your new redesigned or like facelifted Polestar 2, you still get the same old square boxy key here, which is really cheap feeling in plastic, and it really doesn't make any sense to how nice the rest of the car is. But I like to see a change in this one, Polestar. Thanks for watching, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one, I think. Let's zoom. It's stupid fast.